but unlike the other enemies, he will not actually give us health. He just kind of flies away. So now we have to go chase him down and actually reach the headquarters. When we get to the headquarters, we'll have our final battle with him. Now on this route is a little bit of an annoyance, and you need a jetpack to get past this area. Now I'm also, I'm pretty low on health, so I'm going to go ahead in a few seconds once I get to a certain area, you'll see I'm going to go ahead and use those 3 health items that I mentioned that you start with at the beginning of the game. Just to increase my health a little bit to prevent any unnecessary deaths, because you're going to take damage during the course of this area. Very long mountain range to get up here. Once you see this mountain to the left here, prepare your health. When you see that guy up there, I'm going to use the health things here. Then equip your jetpack and immediately start shooting upwards. He's going to stop and cause you to go down. So just keep holding the button and keep holding up. Now, it may seem impossible to get past him. However, once you do this about 5 times or so, he will just completely disappear and you won't have to deal with him anymore. Okay, one more up, and you see, he's disappeared from the left side, and now we actually can travel upwards. I'm going to go ahead and call the shop one last time here, buy an extra jetpack, because I'm going to need it real fast to speed things up. Buy some health items, in case I do need them during the ending here. Leave the shop area. Watch out for these last few random enemies that we have to face. You would think later on in the game that the enemies would have gotten harder, but actually I think these guys are easier because they're so big, they're actually easier to hit. So you want to travel up here. I'm going to go ahead and equip my jetpack to speed things up. And now you want to travel upwards. He says maybe there's no camp at the top. However, just a little bit farther up, he says, oh, there's the camp. Kind of funny and redundant there. Get to the top, and now we enter the spaceship, and we start off with a battle against Bopper. However, he's not small in the ship anymore, he's actually much bigger. Overall, really easy for him. What you want to do is, you want to get right in front of him so you can actually hit him in the head. Duck down on this part if you want, and you can shoot a whole bunch of shots at him real fast, and take him out pretty easily. You're gonna probably take a lot of damage, that's why I bought that extra food in case I needed it, so I go ahead and use that there, because he doesn't give us any extra health for defeating him. Now here's where we're going to free the professor that we were sent to save in the first place, if you forgot about him. Now sometimes his cage will glitch for some reason. If you travel fast over there, it won't open up, so I have to sometimes back up and go back again, like I just had to do there. However, he appears, and we're like, yay, we found him! I finished the bomb already, though, and he's like, show me how to put the medallions together. But, oh, come near me. What? It was supposed to be, don't come near me, because he's about to explode because he has a bomb attached to him. Really awkward scene there. He's like, oh, come near me, but I'm about to explode. Just, I guess, bad translation there. However, we have our final boss here. You want to jump up, shoot the glowing orb on the side with your jetpack, then travel to the left side and just fire straight at the other globe. Once you've defeated both of them, take out the gun in the middle. After some of the bosses we've had to fight during the course of the game, for the end boss to be this easy is pretty pathetic. However, the game's not over yet. We still have to deal with those medallions. This is when it gets a little bit annoying, because what you have to do is, we have to travel a little bit farther and we get our last bit of story here, but it's telling us that the bomb's about to explode pretty much, and we have to go disarm the bomb. But you have to put these 6 medallions in the 6 slots inside the bomb. However, you have no idea what the order is supposed to be, so you have to guess. You only have a certain amount of chances to do it, and you have a time limit as well. So what I like to do is, first off, select all 6 medallions and just put them in the 6 slots in that exact order. Now the order changes every time, however by doing this first, what it's going to allow you to do is any medallion that's put in the correct space will remain there in the correct space. So then you just have to find the ones that aren't in the right spots. So then what I like to do is just go ahead and select them again, and hopefully you'll be able to get them in the correct order. So go ahead and select them all. Go ahead and select them in a random order. Now I have only 2 more, and there we go. It only took me 3 there. Sometimes it may take you the full amount, but just like I said, start off by just selecting them all at one time and putting them in the right order. That way, at least you have a good start. If you get none from the very start, that can be extremely difficult. I've never had that problem before, while doing the game, so be on the lookout. I think it's completely random order every time. I don't think it's like the stones at the end of 8 Eyes when they're in the same order every time. However, the bomb has been disarmed. We run outside to meet up with the hermit again. And we're all happy because we've completed the game. I like the little joke there. He says, hey, are you going to go on a next adventure? No, I'm going to go ahead and create a video game based off my adventure. Which I guess would be what we just played, in a sense. However, after leaving the hermit, we run back into our commander who gave us our mission, as well as Mary, who has also been saved. Now, we also find out that the professor that we were saving that blew up was actually a fake. The real one actually escaped and put the fake there, I guess. I don't think it really makes too much sense there, but I guess it kind of ties things together so that at least you have an ending that works correctly. I'm also not sure why Mary was saved. Wasn't she kidnapped as well? And then she comes over running over to you and says, hey, you're here now, after you've already had like a couple-minute conversation with the commander. Our main character explains that he learned something important, and the commander says that you've had a good experience this time, I guess opposed to the bad experiences he's had before, which we know nothing about. And Billy says he's learned that science must be used correctly and for good and not for bad. And then he just says, I gotta go, farewell, and there's the ending. So, no credit scene in the game. That's a little interesting for no credits at the end of the game, and the ending works. I guess it makes sense. However, there's still a lot of questions I think that should go along with this ending, but it is an NES game, so at least they had some kind of story. So many games didn't at the time. But anyway, that's going to wrap up another edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.